The protests have continued in South Africa over a proposed hike in tuition fees by 8%. The students are now calling for the governing African National Congress Party to honor its 1994 pledge for free education for all. The protests, which began last week, have become more violent as students are now reported to have damaged property worth millions of dollars, according to the President Jacob Zuma, who has also promised that those found culpable will pay a fine of $200 and spend some time in jail. The schools themselves have responded also by providing more security for their campuses and are seeking wide-ranging interdicts against students and deploying private security guards. Congo's former leader, Bosco Ntaganda, is back in the dock in The Hague after ending a hunger strike that had caused proceedings to be suspended. He is pleaded not guilty to 13 counts of war crimes and 5 counts of crimes against humanity. The crimes were allegedly committed by his men between 2002 and 2003 in the province of Ituri, northeast of the DRC. Ntaganda's hunger strike was in complaint of conditions concerning his detention, saying he is not being given a fair trial. He had promised to continue until he dies. The U.S. SEC says an American hedge fund, OCH Ziff Capital Management Group, has been fined more than $400 million to settle charges connected to the bribery of high-level government officials in Africa. It adds that the illicit payments induced the Libyan Investment Authority's sovereign wealth fund to invest in OCH Ziff managed funds. Bribes are also paid for mining rights, and they influence government officials in Libya, in Chad, Niger, Guinea, and the DRC. Director of the SEC Enforcement Division, Andrew Seresny, says the firm engaged in complicated, far-reaching schemes to get special access and secure significant deals and profits through corruption. The SEC says the company and its CEO, Joel Frank, have neither admitted nor denied the findings. It's often been said it is a man's world. As some women are out there changing the narrative to mean it is a woman's world. In fact, it's also everyone's world. One of such women is Barbara Iyayi, who recently addressed women at an event in Lagos on helping women put seed capital into early stages of their businesses. Her goal is to increase the number of women investors and women entrepreneurs in Nigeria, proving the women are no longer keeping to themselves anymore, as those high up are helping those struggling to set up a business and get a leg up in life.
This event really shows that if women entrepreneurs and women investors come together more often and connect and support and advise each other, we can we can create an ecosystem that develops the next billion-dollar company in Africa.
Well, she joins us now on Network Africa Live to talk more about issues surrounding women and business. Barbara, thank you for joining us on the program.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
So why is it so difficult for women to break into the world of business, though they have some really incredible ideas?
Yeah, I think it's really about, there's several things that we need women to be more, to make more of an impact in the society. I think one is we need more decision makers, whether it's in corporations, whether it's in politics, in social organizations. And two is we need more women making an active, taking an active role in investing in the society, investing in companies, investing in organizations. And so I think we need the barriers to be broken are related to investing and being decision makers. And I think I try not to focus on some of the external issues, whether it's cultural or policies or things like that, and focus on the individual issues where women need to sort of take responsibility and be empowered in order to break those barriers. And we are trying our best to come up with different initiatives to get women into that point. And we can talk about that if you want.
Well, it is difficult for more difficult for women to help fellow women. We've seen that happen. But what's been your experience, and how did you overcome that?
Well, I think there are several reasons. I think it's sort of a bias, unnecessary bias, right? Where sometimes as women we're not looking at ourselves holistically. In the event we put together, a woman actually made a point that said she can find a lot of angel investors that are in the technology field that would help her business. And it was a valid issue. I think women are not asking for help from other women as much as they should. You know, we might have a younger generation and an older generation of women issue that we need to sort of bring together more often. And three, I think women are just not looking at each other holistically and saying, okay, beyond you being a mother, beyond you being, a churchgoer, beyond you being this and that, you're also someone who can help me with my business, or you can actually invest in my business. Mm-hmm. So we need to see women in more of these holistic ways and encourage more of these networking opportunities for women to come together and collaborate. But I think we are collaborators in general, and we're less competitors, but we just need more opportunities to do so.
Talking about opportunities, many women feel that because they don't have the right academic qualification, they can't move on, they can't do business with certain people. Can this really be a hindrance?
Definitely not. I think, like I said in the beginning, I think we really do need to sort of take responsibility and not be victims. I think there are external factors, out there, but fundamentally we need to look inside ourselves and be confident, think big, and go out there and sort of and compete and break barriers. It's really us getting in our own way. And I think this is women and the man thing. It's a human being issue. But I think women in general, we tend to sort of be less aggressive than men. And we need to break that in order to break the barriers, essentially.
Barbara, thank you so much for joining us on Network Africa. It's been a pleasure having you on the show.